Hi, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. We're excited to be here today discussing Windows 10 End of Life. Before we dive in, I just want to have a couple quick housekeeping items. So everyone is muted by default. If you have any questions, please drop them in the Q&A section at the bottom of your screen, and I will be monitoring those throughout the session, and we'll have some dedicated time at the end to answer those questions. We'll also be launching a few polls during the session, so please participate when they pop up. And all right, we can begin.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Luke Hersey. I'm the Procurement Manager here at RCS.
And I'm Daniel Rendon. I'm the Account Specialist at RCS, and today I'll be playing the role of a business owner dealing with Windows 10 End of Life. So, Luke, my business is running great right now. I've been hearing a lot about this Windows 10 End of Life. What exactly does this mean for me?
That's a great question, Daniel. The first thing to understand is that Windows 10 is an operating system that runs on many computers. Microsoft is officially ending support for most editions of Windows 10 on October 14th, 2025. This means that after that date, Microsoft will stop releasing new features, security updates, and technical support for the operating system. Over time, new software and hardware may no longer be compatible with Windows 10, hindering your ability to use modern tools and potentially reducing overall productivity. However, the most critical part of this is the loss of security updates. New software vulnerabilities are discovered constantly, and these updates are what protect your system from potential threats. Without regular security patches, your system becomes prime targets for malware, ransomware, and other cyber attacks. Any new vulnerabilities found after October 14th, 2025 will never be fixed, making your data and network highly exposed.
So, Luke, it sounds like the main issue here is security. So, if I have a strong antivirus program, am I all set?
That's a logical thought. While a robust antivirus program is essential for any system and provides increased protection, it doesn't solve the core problem. The underlying vulnerabilities in the operating system will still be there. If a malicious threat manages to bypass your antivirus software, your system will be left completely exposed and vulnerable.
So, how do I know if my computers will be affected by this?
So, to stay secure, you need to first identify which versions of Windows are running on your systems. The easiest way to do this is go to each device and navigate to Start, Settings, System, About. Under the Windows Specifications section, you'll find all the information you need. The screenshot shown here gives an example of what you are looking for. If your system shows any version of Windows 11, you're good to go, as this end of life only affects the older Windows 10. If you see Windows 10 Home, Professional, or any other version, those systems will lose support next month unless they are one of the long-term servicing editions. If you see LTSB or LTSC, which stand for Long-Term Servicing Branch and Long-Term Servicing Channel, your devices are affected differently. Make sure to note the version number, like 24H2 shown in the screenshot, and this will determine the specific end-of-life date for that system.
Okay, perfect. We're going to take a moment here to prompt a poll question. If you can take a moment to answer that poll. Thank you very much. So, Luke, can you explain the difference between long-term servicing and the professional and home versions, and what does that mean for me?
Sure, the long-term servicing editions are designed with stability as the top priority. Unlike the home and professional versions, they do not receive major feature updates. Feature updates are large changes to the operating system that often introduce new features and improvements. However, with any significant change comes the risk of new vulnerabilities and compatibility issues. While these issues are usually patched quickly, they can cause temporary disruptions. This might not be a concern for the average user, but it could be a major problem for mission-critical devices like a point-of-sale system. This is where long-term servicing excels. By avoiding these large updates, the chance of new vulnerabilities and compatibility issues being introduced is reduced. This results in a more stable system that requires fewer maintenance updates from Microsoft. As a benefit of this enhanced stability, Microsoft provides extended support for these devices beyond the standard end-of-life date. The table displayed here outlines the end-of-support dates for each version of Windows 10 LTSB and LTSC.
You'll have to forgive me, Luke. While you were talking, I went and I checked my computer, and it says it's running LTSC 1809. So what does that mean for me?
Yeah, that's great news. The LTSC version 1809 has extended support until January 9th, 2029. That means your computer will continue to receive official security updates from Microsoft for over 3 years past the main end-of-life date. So you don't need a rush to replace your computer in the next month. For other versions, LTSB 1607 gets an additional year of support and until October 13th, 2026. LTSC 21H2's Standard Edition is supported until January 12th, 2027, while the IoT Enterprise LTSC version has a significant extension until January 13th, 2032. Once you know when your device will lose support, you can take proactive steps to prepare. For devices running non-long-term servicing editions, such as Pro and Home, your first step is to check if they can upgrade to Windows 11. You can do this by downloading and running the Windows 11 Installation Assistant from Microsoft's website. This tool will check your device's compatibility with Windows 11. To be compatible, a device needs to meet minimum requirements, including a TPM 2.0 chip, secure boot, at least 4 GB of RAM, and 64 GB of storage. If your device does not meet these requirements, it will need to be replaced. The link to the installation system is shown here and will be included in the after webinar email. For devices with LTSB or LTSC editions, the upgrade process is more complex. The Windows 11 installation system won't work. You'll need to perform a system reimage, which involves wiping the device and reinstalling all software as if it were a new computer. Just like with the other editions, if your device doesn't meet the hardware requirements for Windows 11, it will need to be replaced.
Okay, so based off that, Luke, and based off those steps, what should I do next, considering that my computer is running LTSC 1809?
Since LTSC 1809 is supported until 2029, you don't need to upgrade to meet the upcoming end-of-life date. However, depending on the age of your computer, it might be worth considering an upgrade sooner than 2029. The 1809 version was released in 2019, so a newer device could offer you significant performance and speed improvements. Your best next step is to reach out to your dedicated RCS account manager for a personalized discussion about your options. We can check if a Windows 11 LTSC image is available for your computer and provide details on our new hardware offerings, including point-of-sale terminals, mobile point-of-sale tablets, workstations, and workgroup servers running Windows 11 or newer versions of Windows 10 LTSC. A full list of our current hardware offerings is shown here for reference.
All right, and now we will be posting another poll for our attendees. If you can please take a moment to respond to that poll. And I must say, Luke, with Windows 10 end of life coming, I was feeling a little bit nervous, but hearing you and understanding that I'm working with RCS has really made me understand that I'm not alone in this and that I can get help exactly where I need to. So now we're going to take a moment to transition to the Q&A. Let me open up. Jessica asks, will we receive a copy of this webinar? Yes, you will receive a copy of this webinar by email. And an anonymous question. Luke, will third-party integrations be affected, such as like accounting and loyalty tools?
There's always a possibility compatibility issues can come doing, like I was mentioning with the feature updates. Windows 11 from 10 is like a massive feature update. So there's a possibility, but for the most part, anything that's compatible with Counterpoint today, there shouldn't be any issue going from Windows 10 to Windows 11. So more likely than not, you'll be okay, but we'll want to just double check to be 100% sure for you.
Okay, perfect. It sounds like maybe this person should get in touch with their account manager. So I want to thank everyone for attending and joining us today. Oh, let me see. There might have been another few questions that just came in. Oh, it says, how can we, sorry, we had some follow-up questions for that, Luke.
Mhm.
How can we prevent that?
Prevent the compatibility issues. I'm assuming
Uh,
it's for
I
that question.
believe, yes, Luke. I believe that's, yes.
Yeah, so like Daniel recommended, if getting in touch with your account manager here at RCS, and we can basically take a look at what the integrations are and determine if there will be any complications or not, and if there so, what we can do to make that transition as smooth as possible and keep you running.
Oh, great. Perfect. And there was another question as well. If we are self-hosting and are on Windows 10, do we need to be concerned with Windows 10 being unsupported?
Yes, yeah. Regardless if you're self-hosted, hosted in our Aero environment, anything, this Windows 10 end of life is a thing everyone wants to be uh, at least aware of. Like I kind of discussed, depending on what version of Windows 10 you're running, like if it is one of these long-term servicing ones, you may have support for substantially beyond the next month's end of life date, but you want to figure out exactly when your devices lose support, because if any of your devices do lose support next month, like I was saying, security will become a major, or not will be, but it potentially becomes a big issue. You want to address it sooner than later.
Yeah, you would be introducing risk that you do not want to have. We have another question. It says, is there any known issue coming with Counterpoint and this end of life?
I'm unaware of any specific issues with it. Counterpoint's going to continue supporting Windows 10 for now because we have so many devices using those long-term servicing uh, additions. You could run into like with the like if you have the professional version that does lose support, compatibility can become an issue sooner, but I wouldn't expect anything in the immediate future.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Luke, for answering those.
Sure.
And it seems like that might have been the last question to come in. So, again, I want to thank everyone who had joined this webinar and joined us today. There were a lot of great questions and there was fantastic engagement. Again, a recording of the webinar will be sent out via email, so keep an eye out for your inbox. And thanks again, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Take
Thanks,
care.
everyone.